Employment in Britain has decreased by 220,000 between April and June. That's the biggest quarterly decrease in more than a decade. And in July, workers on UK company payrolls have slumped by a further 114,000. Ollie Barrett joins us live from London for more on this. Ollie, what are the groups of people most affected and why is that so?
The Office for National Statistics does point to a picture in which some of the traditionally most vulnerable people in the labour market are being most badly affected by this current economic crisis. The ONS saying that the people worst affected are young people, old people and those on low incomes. And the numbers are pretty stark. As you say, a dip in the number of people in work of 220,000 across the quarter, the worst in a decade. The number of people on company payrolls is now down 730,000 since lockdown began. We also hear from the ONS that the number of people claiming benefits for unemployment or being on low incomes has jumped 116% to 2.7 million between March and July. So the figures are pretty stark, but that's even when you take into account that there are actually some effects which are currently being masked by the fact that many people are on furlough. These figures don't take into people who are on 0 hours contracts and the like. So the numbers are bad, but the government also knows they are likely to get worse.
All right, so tell us about the UK government's furlough scheme. Would its shutdown affect the employment rate?
Yeah, and so this is the looming crisis for the government, I think. The unemployment rate at the moment remains quite low. It's still 3.9%, but there is a lag to that. So that unemployment rate, certainly the government is braced to rise further. And also, as it winds down that furlough scheme, which has seen the state paying the wages effectively of millions and millions of workers in the UK to try and avoid their companies laying them off. Well, as that scheme is wound down towards October time, the real fear is that many companies will simply lay those workers off. And so the government is being urged by the opposition Labour Party here in the UK to do more for workers in sectors that can't yet return to work or that are still facing real difficulties in getting people back into jobs. More targeted support is what the opposition Labour Party says is needed. The government says it can't guarantee every job forever and has acknowledged that there are, as I say, going to be even tougher times ahead.
And many thanks for that update. Ollie Barrett speaking to us from London.